Okay, students, so this is our second part of the architecture of 8086 part 2. In the previous part we have discussed about bus interface unit, and in that we have seen the segment registers, summation unit, instruction queue and memory interface we have discussed. Now in this part of the architecture we are going to discuss about the execution unit. So architecture has mainly two parts, bus interface unit and execution unit. In that, as we discussed in the previous class, bus interface unit performs the function of generation of addresses for memory or input or ports, and then it performs the task for reading and writing the data from memory or maybe from input output devices. So apart from this, whenever any program is read by the processor, it is brought into the instruction queue of the architecture. So instruction queue takes the program, and then from instruction queue the program or the instruction is decoded in the execution unit, and then in the execution unit the program is executed. So in the execution unit the main purpose here is to execute the program. For that purpose, the instructions that are brought from the code memory segment of memory, the instructions are brought into the instruction queue, and then from instruction queue they are given to the execution unit, where control system has the instruction register and instruction decoder, in which the instruction is decoded, and then correspondingly the instruction is executed within the execution unit. Now for the execution purpose, execution unit has various parts, which includes the first part as ALU, that is arithmetic logic unit. Second part as the general purpose registers, which are shown here. Third part is special purpose registers, and fourth part is the flag register. So while discussing the execution unit, we will be studying these parts one by one. Let us start with the first part, that is ALU or arithmetic and logic unit. So the first part of the execution unit, which is very important, is arithmetic and logic unit. Obviously from the name it is clear that all the arithmetic and logical functions that are required in any instruction, they are carried out within this arithmetic and logic unit. The first and most important thing is, in the microprocessor 8086, the ALU is of 16-bit capacity. So 16-bit ALU suggests that the microprocessor is also of 16 bits. Now because ALU is of 16-bit, it means that at a time it can perform any arithmetic or logical operation on the 16-bit data. It means that it can perform all the arithmetic operations such as addition. The first arithmetic operation that it can perform is addition of 8 or 16-bit data both. Then subtraction, it can perform the subtraction of 8 or 16-bit data. Then it can perform the multiplication. So multiplication can be performed on 8 or 16-bit data. Then it can perform division, which is also for 8 or 16-bit data. Apart from this, it can perform the comparison of 8 or 16-bit data, which is also a kind of arithmetic operation. So all these arithmetic operations can be done by arithmetic and logic unit of microprocessor, which is a 16-bit ALU, and it can perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, division of 8 or 16-bit data. After that, it can perform certain logical operations also, and these logical operations include, the first operation is ANDing, bit by bit ANDing of again 8 or 16-bit data. Then it can perform ORing, bit by bit ORing of again 8 or 16-bit data. It can perform XORing of the data. Then it can obtain the ones and twos complement of the data. Again, the data can be 8-bit or 16-bit. And another important logical operation is it can perform shifting or rotation of the data. This is another logical operation which can be done in microprocessor ALU. So first and most important part in arithmetic and logic unit is arithmetic and logic unit, which is 8-bit, which is 16-bit ALU. And arithmetic operations include all these operations that are listed here, and logical operations include ANDing, ORing, XORing, ones complement, twos complement, shifting and rotation of 8 or 16-bit data. Now this is the first part, that is arithmetic and logic unit. The second part here is general purpose registers, which are shown here as AX, BX, CX, DX, which are further divided as AH, AL, BH, BL, CH, CL and DH, DL. Now if you study this in detail, the second part, that is general purpose registers. The general purpose registers in 8086, there are two categories of registers: 16-bit registers and 8-bit registers. The 16-bit registers are AX, BX, CX, DX. Now when I say register, the one register, if it is a 16-bit, that means it contains 16 flip-flops and it can store 16-bit data. So if it is a 16-bit registers, data D15 to D0 can be stored in it, and it is a formation of 16 flip-flops. So likewise, we have 4 16-bit registers available: AX, BX, CX, DX, and individual 16-bit register is further divided into two parts known as AH-AL, BH-BL, CH-CL and DH-DL. So we have 8 AH-AL, BH-BL, CH-CL, DH-DL, these 8-bit registers which are part of AX, BX, CX, DX. Now in this case, the AH and AL, they stand for higher byte and lower byte of AX. BH, BL are higher byte and lower byte of BX. CH-CL are higher and lower byte of CX, and in the similar manner DH-DL are higher and lower bytes for DX. Now these registers, they are general purpose registers, means user can store data in it and use it as and when required in the programming. But they have some specific purpose also, so they come into the category of specific purpose registers as well. Apart from this, there are some specific registers available in the microprocessor, and they are also 16-bit registers. They are named as SP, BP, SI and DI. So likewise we have total 8 16-bit registers AX, BX, CX, DX and SP, BP, SI, DI, and 8 8-bit registers AH, AL, BH, BL, CH, CL and DH, DL. SP is called as a stack pointer, BP is base pointer, SI is source index register and DI is destination index register. All these registers, they are general purpose registers, but simultaneously they have some specific application also in some of the special instructions. To start with, the first important register is AX, or what we call as accumulator. So in microprocessor, AX is 16-bit accumulator and AL is 8-bit accumulator. In some of the instructions, AX and AL are specifically used for storage of first data and for the storage of result. For example, in the instruction for multiplication or in the division, processor always takes the first operand from the accumulator AX or AL, and it also stores the result in the same accumulator AX and AL. So accumulator is a specific register which is used in some of the instruction of microprocessor for storage of result and for storage of first data. The second register is BX, which is called as the base register. This register and BP, that is base pointer, these both registers, they come under the category of base registers, which are specially used in some of the instructions for storage of offset address. They are used in some of the instructions for storage of offset address or effective address. The next register is CX register, also known as counter register. In some instructions of microprocessor, the counter register is used to hold the count for loop instructions. Like there are instructions in which we need to perform a loop. How many times the loop has to be executed, that count is stored in CX in some of the instructions. The next register is DX, which is called as a data register. It is a general purpose register and has specific use in one or two instructions. Another register is SI, that is source index register, and DI, that is destination index register. These both registers are used by microprocessor for the storage of effective address in case of string instructions. There are string instructions in microprocessor. This is a category in which the string data is handled, and in those instructions for storage of effective address, these two registers, that is SI and DI, are particularly used. So SI and DI, source index and destination index registers, are used for the storage of effective address in case of string instructions in 8086 microprocessor. After this, we have another important register, that is SP, which is called as a stack pointer. Stack pointer is a specific register which is used for storage of 16-bit offset address, or also called as effective address, of stack top. Now in microprocessor, there is a specific segment called as a stack memory segment, The stack memory segment saves the data in the form of stack. Now when the data is saved in the form of stack, the topmost data of that stack is called as stack top. Now the stack top and the stack top has a specific offset address, and this 16-bit offset address of stack top is stored in the stack pointer. So in the stack memory segment, the data is saved in the form of stack, that is one above another. The first data is saved here, second is saved above, third is saved above that, fourth is saved above that, and the likewise the topmost data will be called as stack top. The address corresponding to this stack top is present in the register called as stack pointer. So likewise we have these different registers available in microprocessor, which are general purpose registers also, means they can be used to store the data, general data for the programming, but they have specific use also in some of the instructions. Now coming to the next part of the architecture, that is the operands and flags. Now in this case, the operand register, the next part is operand register. Operand register is another 16-bit register in microprocessor. Students' specific use is to hold the data temporarily, so it is also called as temporary register. Now for example, if microprocessor is performing a certain operation, for example it is exchanging two datas from two registers, say there are two registers AL and BL, and from these two registers the data are to be exchanged. Now whenever processor performs this type of operations, it requires a third register to store the data temporarily. So in such situation, processor makes use of this operand register as a register for temporary data storage. So while exchanging the data between AL and BL, it keeps the data temporarily in the third register, that is operand register, and then the data between AL and BL, that is X and Y, is exchanged. The data X is first of all kept in temporary register, Y is transferred into AL, and then X is transferred into BL from temporary register. So likewise the data between AL and BL is exchanged, and for the temporary data storage operand register is used. One important thing here is the operand register always is always used by the processor only. It will never be used by the user. That means in the program, while writing the program, we can make use of general purpose registers or specific purpose registers also, but we cannot make use of operand register for our data storage. It is always used by microprocessor only. Students, hereafter another important part in the architecture is flag register. Details of the flag register are explained in the next part of the architecture.